Rooster Nation back, Rooster Nation podcast. Today, I want to talk a little bit about my own personal frustrations that I'm having, my internal battle that goes on with this business. To start, I want to say that to keep up this kind of effort, right? This marketing effort sustained over a period of time, at times it can be very, very hard and very draining on just my mental attitude. Because, every day, you're making videos, editing videos, producing content, distributing content, running the digital ads, and it doesn't yield immediate results. And I've been at this. I didn't start this business 2 years ago, right? I've been at this since 2014 farmers markets. And at times you really doubt, can I do it? Am I doing the right thing? Is this, a worthwhile endeavor? And those thoughts and those emotions can really get me down, in my own head in a very lasting and, severe way. However, if I were to entertain the concept of moving on, right, doing something else with my life at the moment, here's what I struggle with. Here's why I keep going. Because I look around and I have to look at the data points that surround me. Since I started this company in 2014, what have I seen take off, right? First, there was the Jimmy Dean product, which is the exact concept I have, except it's done by Jimmy Dean. That's Tyson Foods. That's a huge company. That product is still on the market today, and it was on the market before I started Rooster and Lark. So that product is selling well. I've also seen 3 other major companies start a just add eggs concept. And they've done it all in the refrigerated section, right? One is by the eggs and the other 2 are by the salads. The one by the eggs is Kraft Heinz, just crack an egg. Del Monte, the big fruit and vegetable, packer or producer, they have a product in the salad section where you add 2 eggs and microwave. And Green Giant, the big classic frozen vegetable brand, they have the same thing as Del Monte. It's in the fresh salad section. You just crack 2 eggs and microwave. So I look around and I've seen 3 new companies launch a Just Add Eggs product since I have started. That is hugely validating for me. And they have, all the market research, all the insights, and all the money to launch their products and get it to start selling. Not to mention they're located on the perimeter where there's no barrier to the customer seeing the product, right? They're already walking the perimeter. They're already looking for their salad products or their eggs, and it's right there in front of them, not behind a glass door. I also think those products are missing the mark. Mine is distinctly different from them. We're using different types of vegetables, and it's frozen. Their products go bad in the fridge, and you have to microwave, a single-serve plastic. Whereas mine, you keep it in the freezer, you get multiple servings, and it's really clean, simple ingredients. They're just totally missing in all the others. So, I see these big companies and all launching Just Add Eggs products, and that's a huge data point for me. It's like, how can I ignore that and make it, how can I let myself, talk myself out of this endeavor when I see other people executing on it around me and not little startups, right? Big companies with all the right market research. The other data point that I've seen, right? Some people will tell me, it's just frozen vegetables, just another frozen vegetable mix, right? And I look at 2 other trends that have exploded since I started this product. And that is zoodles, right? Or any type of noodle vegetable, spiralized carrots, zucchini, butternut squash, spaghetti squash as a substitute for pasta. All that is an existing vegetable cut up and marketed in a new way. That is exactly what Rooster and Lark is. That trend has exploded. I live across the street from Sprouts. I was shopping in Sprouts for some other frozen vegetables besides Rooster and Lark. Yes, I do eat other frozen vegetables. And what did I see? Riced cauliflower, riced broccoli, I think riced carrots. Riced vegetables is another huge, huge trend that has exploded since I started Rooster and Lark. What is that? That is a existing vegetable, an existing frozen vegetable, cut up and marketed in a new way. Exactly like what Rooster and Lark is. So I see these 2 simultaneous data points, right? Frozen vegetables being offered in a new way, and consumers are freaking out and loving it. We didn't even talk about cauliflower crust pizza. You all know how crazy that is. Frozen vegetables offered in a new way, and Just Add Eggs concepts launching all over the store. I am the only product out there to combine those two, frozen vegetables and Just Add Eggs, in a healthy, nutritious, simple product. And when I look around at the data points, that is what keeps me going. And that is how I pull myself out of this slump that I am in all the time. I'm constantly oscillating, sometimes many times throughout a single day, between so fired up and motivated and believing in what I'm doing, and so down and, I don't want to say depressed, but a little depressed, in that it is just hard, man. It is hard to be, doing this marketing thing every day. It's so intangible. I never thought that what Rooster and Lark would need to take off is for me to become a full-time marketer. But of course that's what it's going to take, right? I didn't totally understand that when I started, of the level of marketing, and the intensity of the marketing effort that would be required for me personally. And I spent, 2018 and part of 2019, accepting the fact that trade promotions and, digital ads are not going to build this business. I need something radically different. So it's just a frustration that I have, this balance between all of the market validation that I see for Rooster and Lark surrounding me, and my own internal demons that can suck away at that energy every day. I have no resolution for you, Rooster Nation. I have no words of wisdom. It's a lonely, tough path, and I am grateful that I've had the opportunity to even attempt it. And, I continue to keep pushing because I see these trends evolving around me. And I just have this deep, deep, deep belief that Rooster and Lark is so primed to capitalize on all of it. And, it's a solutions-based product. It is solving a problem for people. They want to eat more vegetables. They don't have the time to chop. It's a convenience product. And, it can also be frustrating to look around and see where all the VC dollars are going. This is not in a hot, trendy area of grocery. It's not, a fake meat. It's not a dairy alternative. It's not the latest and greatest, new type of grain that we're incorporating into a bar or a snack. It is frozen vegetables, but the market data around me tells me that this is where the future is. Vegetables will never go out of trend. I could go down this road till I'm blue in the face. So no words of wisdom, just talking about my frustrations, my internal demons, and how it can just be very hard to have these two conflicting emotions of, God, this is so hard and the chances are so small, and why not me? I have a great product, and all of the data, all of the surrounding data and the data points that I have available to me tell me that this can be so big and so huge. I'll never know until I've crossed the finish line and either I found success or I've completely exhausted, my energy reserves, and I just can't do it anymore. So time will tell, Rooster Nation, but I hope, some of you other people out there who are trying to build your own thing, I'm sure you can relate, and you kind of get what I'm saying. So feel free to shoot me a DM or, drop me a line in the comments. Maybe we should have a little support group to keep each other going. But that's all I got, Rooster Nation. I'm out of here. And thanks for cheering me up. I love doing these podcasts. I love all the feedback I get, the comments. A lot of people direct message me telling me they love the videos. They found them valuable. Even, the funny ones, the comedy ones. I just had someone text me saying they loved the Gordon Ramsay video. So anyway, all right, Rooster Nation, I'm out of here. Take it easy. Thanks for the love. You guys keep me going every day. And thank you to all the big companies out there who are launching Just Add Eggs products, because that is my biggest motivating factor of all time. Kraft Heinz, Tyson Foods, B&G, Del Monte, thank you. I love you. I hope it works out for all of us. I'll see you guys later.